I'm on my phone right now, and I got a post in the community section from 4 days ago. It was way too hot the past couple of days, so I did absolutely nothing. I haven't done a single thing besides chill by the pool. Literally nothing. But it's cooled off a bit, so we're back. Anyways, I was checking my YouTube, and I got this post. Slight issue though, I don't get notified. I don't know why, but I don't get notified of comments or posts, but I'll figure that out. Anyways, the post says, I am kind of curious of how you can anticipate reversal and continuation breaks. Can you give us a hint? No rush at all. No rush at all, doing it at your pace. Thanks for coming out. And kind of added on to that, but from what I have learned from your videos, I think if wicked out, it will reverse, and if candle close below, it will be a continuation. All right, I'm gonna write that down for a second because I want to come back to that. But I have to learn more about the context. All right, great question. Unfortunately, I don't know if you have cropped this to be like this, probably not, but I cannot expand it. However, if I just take a quick screenshot, I can kind of, it looks like EURUSD on the 1 minute. So yeah, I can't know for certain, but I'm going to assume that this is EURUSD. It looks like EURUSD. So this has been, let's see, 4 days ago, UTC -4 at roughly 5 a.m. So that would be, let's see, 11 a.m. for me locally, for my local time. Let's see if we can find this on the chart. All right, this is USD CAD. That is not what we're looking for. EURUSD. All right, let's see. We are going for 4 days ago, which is 26th. Oh, this looks basically exactly like it. Okay, I think this is the exact move. So 4 days ago, probably the comment got posted later than what I am checking at today, so the times kind of got messed up. But this is probably the exact move in the screenshot. So let's work with this. All right, so I'm going to be drawing out these positions for a bit. Let's see, this one was entered roughly there. Roughly entered right there. Targeting this area right there. Great trade, something like that. I don't have the exact numbers, but I'm just going to be copying the screenshot. All right, so that is trade 1. The next one is a short, targeting a previous zone, probably this one, and targeting the low there. Another good trade. All right, the third trade is targeting this high right there, and I'll explain these in a minute, but I'm going to draw them out first. So I got it drawn out. We got 2 great trades and 2 losers. Let me explain why this didn't work. I see what you were trying to do, because this, I understand how this could look like a reversal, right? You got your lows and your highs. However, that didn't happen. So let me explain why this didn't work. First of all, there was a very strong reaction from this zone. So you shouldn't really be thinking about longing. What you could have done instead is wait for a break. Wait for a break on the low. That's the wrong one. Wait for a break on the low, and then wait for a breakdown which validates this zone right there, and you can short off it. Entry at the bottom of the zone, stop slightly above it, targeting the low. You could have gotten a second entry right there, or if you missed that right there, this one wouldn't have been perfect. It wicked slightly above it, but this should have still worked out just fine. You can play it really safe, stop above everything, targeting the low, still 1 to 2, not bad. 1 to 3 if you're putting the stop right above that high right there. But anyways, so to summarize, it's coming down way too fast. It's coming down way too hot. And again, I see what you were trying to do, but this is basically a 0 confirmation entry because there was no break of the high right there. Again, you can absolutely do 0 confirmation entries. However, you have to be really certain. But you gotta be certain that's gonna play out. Otherwise, it's just catching a falling knife, which I would never recommend anyone do. This one may have actually been up there, but the result is the same. Should have been placed right there, and the result is the same. It's coming in way too fast. I don't see any reason why it could be slowing down. And when there is no break, I don't want to say that you can't take 0 confirmation orders, but you should know that it definitely has a lower percentage of working out, a lower chance of working out. So if we take this, for example, just happened right after, we got a low broken, new low, which makes this the high, and it breaks right there. This technically would have been a break, but I prefer a little bit of a stronger break. So even though you could have used this as the confirmation and place an order off of that, I prefer going for something a little stronger and then using that. You enter slightly higher, but I think you actually get a better risk reward in this case. So you could have entered off of that, but I prefer a little bit of a stronger break. Because the zone is smaller, you also get a better risk reward. Not always, but in this case. And if you're unsure, just look left. Not too far. Like, you shouldn't really care what happened 5 years ago, but you can see this was definitely a zone worth keeping in mind. All right, so combined with a shallow low followed by a break in the opposite direction, and then you can enter somewhere in this range, targeting a previous high. Now I want to get back to the wicks and the candle closes and the continuation versus reversal breaks. Let's take this for an example. A candle close on its own doesn't really mean anything, right? This could have been a single wick. This could have been a single wick. It just depends on the time frame that you're using. Let me draw that out as well. All right, so whenever you see 2 candles side by side, keep in mind that it is basically the exact same. Let's make this a little bit, there we go, now it matches. So whenever you see 2 candles side by side, keep in mind that it is most of the time, not most of the time, always, it is always the exact same as a single wick. It just depends on the time frame that you're viewing it. I bet if I go to the 3 minute, this will be a single wick. But let's see. Hey, yo, we got a single wick. So you should absolutely always keep that in mind. This was kind of a shorter video, but let me know if it helped you. The comments are open. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask. And with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day.